We have a beautiful analogy of taking a seed, putting it into the ground, and that seed decomposes, and from it, it becomes part of something greater than itself. Earth and the vegetative power of the earth, Mother Earth as it's called, that thereby grows into something like a fruit-bearing tree that quantitatively and qualitatively gives so much more than that seed. This is precisely the act of charity that we perform. That it serves like an elevation from what we call Mayim Nukvim, the feminine waters. In other words, it elicits from our act of charity down here an act of charity from above. Charity is chesed, kindness, so it elicits kindness. It touches that act of charity to the font of the souls of Knesset Israel, the congregation of Israel, and that the divine kindness, it shines upon it from above. And as the terminology in the Zohar for the source of the souls of Israel is called Imatata, then the lower level of mother, higher level of mother is Bina, understanding. The lower level is Malchus, or as the Talmud calls it, Shechina, divine presence. It's the Shechina, the divine presence. It rests on the font of the souls of Israel in this level. And therefore, by the act of charity down here, of chesed down here, we elicit from above that divine kindness that then unites and imbues the souls of Israel above and unites them with God's infinite kindness. And furthermore, that light then is drawn down here. That intense revelation descends to this low world, not just remains in the spiritual world, but to this low world, and lights up the souls down here. When? During prayer, time of prayer. And even though it's not a permanent thing, it's only during that time, that intense light of the divine that's unfathomable, that before it everything is of naught, is no thing, right? So how's it capable to come down here during our prayers that we can have a glimpse of it, and being imbued with it? How's that possible if it's so intense? So where you find God's greatness, there you will find his humility. So this intense light in God's humility, that intense light of his divine kindness, because of his humility, he allows it to descend below, that we can have an experience of it, a connection to it. Metaphorically, it's like water that descends above to below. So God's humility allows his intense light of his divine kindness to come down here into this world, that it should shine onto the soul that's vested in a body, which in this reality stands in darkness, as the body we know is metaphorically, Kabbalistically known as the hide of the snake. So it's in a state of darkness, but that darkness now is converted into light. Converted into light that is experienced during the moment of prayer. Why? Because before the prayer, you gave charity to elicit this intense divine light that brings deliverance to an individual down here in the moment of darkness from a dark place. And this is what it means, Matzmiach Yeshuais, that God causes deliverance to sprout forth. You sow charity, you take this charity, right, by giving, you're putting that seed into the ground. And what's going to come up? Sprout. It's going to sprout from a little seed. Look what comes. A fruit-bearing tree that is qualitatively and quantitatively incomparable to what you planted. So you just gave some charity before you prayed. And that sprouts salvation, deliverance. That in the darkness of the reality of this world and just the fact that the soul is found in a body, that body itself is a cover-up and concealing of the divine light, causes to sprout forth that charity. Because you sow in the supernal land, right? You take a seed, you put it in the ground. Well, metaphorically, you're taking charity and you're eliciting the supernal land above. Supernal land above is the Shekhinah, as we said, the divine presence, Malchus of Atzilus, the source and the font of the souls of Israel. And that's what it means when we say in the Ashrei prayer, Malchuscha Malchus Kodei Lamim, that your sovereignty, meaning alluding to the attribute of Malchus, is the sovereignty, serves as the source of sovereignty for all worlds. Meaning it's the divine presence in every spiritual world. So by giving charity, we elicit the Malchus, the Shekhinah, the divine presence in every world, in every spiritual world, and in this world, and in particularly in this world when you give charity to the Holy Land down here. There's a Holy Land up there. That's Malchus. It's the source, right? Malchus, the last of the 10 divine attributes. So it's like the lowest point, like Earth is the lowest point. Excuse me. And so we elicit by the Malchus, the earth above, the supernal land above, and that's in particular when you are sowing and giving charity in the land, the Holy Land below, right? When you give to the Holy Land below, then you're listening the Holy Land above, again, Shekhinah, divine presence, you're bringing then deliverance, in particular because they are juxtaposed to each other. All of the rest of the lands of the world are not in unison with the holiness above. Only the Holy Land below is to the Holy Land above. So when you give charity, the direct connection, that charity, and immediately it's absorbed in the supernal land above. There's no obstacle to bring that light of God, that intense light of God, down here because nothing intervenes. That's why it's called the Holy Land, because it's a reflection of the supernal Holy Land, the Shekhinah, the Malchus of Atzilus. And in conclusion of the 8th letter, Alter Rebbe says, V'day l'maven, and this suffice for the discerning, to understand the distinction. That's why the rest is called Golus, or not Golus, diaspora, outside of the Holy Land, because it's not in sync with the Holy Land. So that's in particular. Any charity elicits what we just spoke about, is brings divine light, elicits the divine light, because you are sowing, you're putting a seed into the ground, something's going to grow from that. Something beautiful is going to grow from that. A divine light that will illuminate our prayers, that will bring deliverance from the dark place that we are, because in our prayer it's a soul that wants to connect, but it's trapped in a body. And the body, it's just looking for its own survival. It's not looking for connection, it's looking for survival. After all, it's an animal soul. Just like an animal seeks survival, the soul doesn't seek survival, it seeks connection. So it illuminates us at that moment when we give charity and then pray to be connected with that intense divine light. How can we have that intense divine light? Well, that's God's humility. That He allows that divine kindness of His should illuminate our soul, that we should be connected. Beautiful idea. So today is the 28th day of Av, and today, the 28th day of the month of Av, Koyach Av, is my Jewish birthday. And as the sages teach us, that on our Jewish birthday, as opposed to Gregorian calendar birthday, which is August the 5th, it is the day that one's mazel is powerful. Mazel, yay. Some people look at lucky stars. It means the way things are aligned above in heaven. It's powerful on that day. So whereas in the secular world, a birthday is all about me and how I could have more, and there's an element, of course, not I can have more. A Jewish birthday is how I can be more. Because a Jewish birthday means that God brought you into this world, that you could be something more for this world, more for God. That you could do something that changes the world for good through Torah and mitzvahs. That's the uniqueness of the day. It's a day actually in more solitude to think about your past year and what you're going to do for the forthcoming year, and how you've been a blessing to the world, and how you will be even more so for the forthcoming year. Because a birthday means God needs you. He brought you into this world. He needs you very much so. And it's the day that we connect with each other, and a day that God gives an extra power to bless others. So I'm giving a bracha, a blessing to everyone that comes here every day, or if you come here, whatever you do, that this should be a shnas hatzlocha bracha, a year of success and blessings, materially and spiritually, and materially and spiritually together, that we shouldn't see a separation between them, that it's all focused in one direction for one purpose, in serving Hashem with 248 organs and limbs and 365 sinews that we should be completely bound and connected, and that God should give us all of the things that we need. We need menuchas hanefesh. We need peace of the soul, of the mind, of the heart, emotionally. We should be attached, and that we should have materially and health-wise everything that we need. We need good health, not merely to feel good about ourselves, but that we could do good. It's easier when you're healthy. It's easier to learn Torah when you're healthy, to do a mitzvah when you're healthy. So God should give you all of that. And that, don't limit yourself. Don't think small about yourself. Because you're whole, you're complete, and you're worthy. A reflection of Hashem, a piece of Hashem. And as a result, we don't allow God's blessing to be small. Let it be really big and large. So, and I want to thank you all for your participation and your blessings. I see they're coming in. Thank you. Beautiful. Thank you for all your brachas. I do want to ask, though, something of you all. In my merit, and together, if you can take upon yourself something of a mitzvah. If it's for someone that's Jewish, whether it's kosher, tefillin, Shabbos, or an enhancement in those areas, or tzedakah, charity, whatever you desire to do, that would be amazing. If there's anything you want to share with me, because I'm going to be writing into the Rebbe, so I would share that with the Rebbe. If you're giving charity, consider, because today's the final day that we're working on our Chai monthly club of giving life to all the work that we do, to give monthly, whatever you would like to give on a monthly basis, which would be on our website. You can go to Chabad.com to donate monthly. You'll see there. But if you're going to put on tefillin, if there's a Jewish man's going to put on tefillin, that's even greater. If there's a Jewish woman's going to light Shabbos candles, right? Or someone who isn't Jewish that's going to pray every day. Now, charity is, as we just spoke about the greatness of charity and what that does, so I'm giving you the opportunity. This is an opportunity to give. And there's no doubt, as we learned here, what God will give us back is incomparable to what we give. So whatever kind of gift you can give, that would be amazing. A gift of a mitzvah. A gift of a mitzvah. And if you would like to let me know, so that would be amazing. So I would write that into the Rebbe. Natalie's. When you said the animal soul looks for survival, did you mean the Yetzer Hara? The Yetzer Hara is an element of the animal soul. The animal soul is a complete being. And the animal's just like an animal lives to survive. And what's the proof, by the way, that an animal lives to survive? Because in 5,783 years since creation, they haven't progressed anything more than survival. Think about it. Right? We don't have digital computers for the animal kingdom that they develop. Not the light bulb. Now you might say that's also survival. It just enhanced our survival. It's true. That's because that's the animal in us. The animal soul. And that's what it's seeking. So survive even better, right? More comfort. But ultimately, that's not the purpose. The ultimate purpose is about connection, using all of that to connect to Hashem. Where to give? Is there any? Yes. It's at ChabadZichron.com. Oh, okay. Again, whatever you do for a mitzvah, amazing. God bless you. And do let me know. And again, blessings for everybody. All right. I'm Rabbi Ronnie Fine, coming to you for Chabad Zichron Kadesh Montreal, Canada. It's a privilege and a pleasure to share with you and Tanya. And we continue to share for many, many, many years to come, and growing, and learning, coming closer to Hashem, fulfilling more of Torah mitzvahs, changing the world for good, and bringing the final redemption through Mashiach now. Thank you all for joining. God bless you. Rambam coming up.